Hey, what's up? Ian here. Welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'm going to share with you guys my review for this Oneodio A10 hybrid active noise cancelling wireless headphones. But before I start, I'd like to thank Oneodio for sending this to me, making this video possible. However, please note that everything I say in this video is my own opinion. It is not scripted, and Oneodio will watch this video with you guys. Okay, so the Oneodio A10 is now retailing for $80 US, and for those of you who are interested, do check out the unaffiliated links in the description below. And occasionally there are some price drops on Amazon on this headphone, so I do suggest to, once in a while give it a check, see whether price has dropped or not. Right, so as usual in this video, I'm going to go through the accessories, the fit and comfort, the design and build quality, the features, my daily use with this headphone, and of course my sound impression of this A10. But don't worry, this video will be timestamped, so you can actually focus or go to that section that you are interested in. Right, so let's begin with the accessories. So it comes in a very nice box like this with a good picture representing the headphone, a correct representation of the headphone, and at the back here you do get some specifications. Let's quickly go through that. The battery capacity is 800 milliamps, input is 5 volts, charging time is 2 hours, and the usage time, if you have your ANC and your Bluetooth on, it will last about 40 hours, and if you have your Bluetooth music on only without the ANC, is 50 hours, and if you put this on standby mode with ANC, it will last about 62 hours. And by the way, if you charge it for just 5 minutes, you get an additional 2 hours of usage on this headphone, so it's pretty good for fast charging. The range for this Bluetooth is 10 meters. The noise reduction is about minus 35 dB. Impedance of this is 32 ohms, so pretty easy to drive. The driver type is for dynamic driver, and it's got a 40 millimeters dynamic driver inside. The frequency range for this is 20 to 40,000 Hertz, which makes this high-res audio, but high-res audio in terms of wired, okay? It does not have wireless high-res audio, so just take note of that. And then the sensitivity is 42 dB, and the net weight for this is about 295 grams. I mean, essentially it's not a very heavy headphone, which I can feel, okay? It's not heavy. Right, so inside the box you'll get a user guide, of course. Okay, so this is the user guide, and then you'll get charging cable, USB-C to USB-A charging cable, and then audio cable. So this one you can connect wired to your device, your source, 3.5 to 2.5. Okay, and then you'll get a carrying case. Very nice carrying case, very compact and functional carrying case. Nice zipper, and then on the inside it opens up, and this one holds your headphone in place. Yeah, very simple hard shell case which you can protect your headphone. Now let's talk about the headphone itself. The design and build quality of this headphone is very nice for 80 bucks, right? The shell is made of metal, headphone band is plastic. Even though it's plastic, it doesn't feel cheap, it doesn't feel rickety, and the extension of the headband is really good. You can hear, and there are notches here to let you hear the extension of the headband, which is really good, and it stays in place when it's extended. Ear cups can articulate, and you can fold this ear cup as well, so that you can keep it in your backpack, or if you want to rotate it, and you can put it in the carrying case itself, or you can just hang it around your neck when this headphone is folded and face flat. So a very nice and functional headphone at $80 US. The ear pads are also nice and plush with protein leather. Top here it's got protein leather as well on the headband. So overall, the build quality and the design of this is actually really nice. Yeah. So for the function of this, on the ear cups you have two sides. On one side, which is the right side, you do get the power button, and then you got your volume rockers and your 3.5 headphone jack and the microphone. On the left side you do get the charging port. Alright, you get the noise cancelling toggle, so you can actually toggle the different modes, and that's about it. And the ear cups are nicely indicated, so left and right is very well indicated. I can tell which side is which. It's very important because when you look at it like so, it looks identical, you don't know which side to go, so this will give you a guide. Okay, and yeah, so very nice build quality of this. Now let's talk about the fit and comfort for this. It fits my head very well, and the clamping force of this is not hard at all. I don't feel any fatigue wearing this. There's no hot spot on the top here. It does have some hot spot on the ear cups here. Well, I do suggest to take a break after 1 hour, but it does gets a bit warm when I wear this for about an hour. And yeah, overall in terms of fit and comfort is very good. The seal, it gives me a very good seal, in fact a natural seal on this headphones, and if you have your ANC on, it gives you a very good noise cancelling together with the natural seal of this headphone. So overall the fit and comfort and the seal is really good. Now let's talk about the features of this headphone. So as I mentioned, this is Bluetooth, so you can connect to your devices, your Android players, your iPhone, your iPad, and your computer as well. So very functional. And then you've got the ANC, you play and pause, those basic function. It doesn't come with an accompanying app, but this one alone you can actually control most of your stuff. You can pick up phone calls on this. You can activate your voice assistant as well. So yeah, on its own without the accompanying app, it does function. Okay, so let's talk about the ANC on this. So in terms of ANC, you just need to press this button for 1 second, and it will change the different mode. And for ANC, it does cut off most of the lower frequencies and the top frequencies. In fact, a lot of times the middle frequency is not being cut off, but on this headphones, firstly there are a few factors. Naturally, it gives me a very good seal, and also on top of that, the ANC cuts off some of the middle frequency. So when people are talking to me, I can barely make out what they are saying to me. I still can hear a bit like a mumbling, but I cannot tell what they are saying to me unless I read their lips. But yeah, it's a very good noise cancelling for the lower frequencies like the aircon and the low rumbling sound. That is all being cut off. I cannot hear at all. For the higher frequencies like the sirens and baby crying, there's no baby in my house, but yeah, the people chatting and all that in the higher frequencies, those are being cut off as well. It's just the middle frequency is being cut off just a bit, and it's drowned out, like I would say drowned out, and I still can hear a bit, but I cannot make out what exactly they're saying to me. There's also the transparency mode. The transparency mode is actually pretty good as well. Brings in the ambient sound to me, and yeah, I kind of like the transparency sound. Actually, I do prefer the ANC on this better. It does give me that isolation when I want to focus on my work. I don't want any sound to distract me. The ANC on this is actually pretty good for $80 US. Right, so let's talk about my different use of this. I use these headphones to play games, watch movies, watch Netflix, make phone calls, and of course listen to my music. So let's first talk about gaming on this. So gaming on this is actually pretty good. The lag of this is not really existent at all, and that's because this is a connection using AAC. Okay, so if you look at my phone here, is high-res audio or high definition audio, AAC. So there is no LDAC. So on AAC, usually for AAC the connection is very good and the lag or the latency of it is very good, so I don't feel any lag while playing my Mobile Legends or my music rhythm games. They perform really well, and also the detail retrieval on this is actually very good. So when I'm playing Mobile Legends, you know, I can hear all the spell casting and all that in the distance, footsteps, sound effects, all very detailed, and the imaging and the positioning of the sound, where it's coming from, all can be heard very clearly. So very good detail retrieval. Soundstage as well, very wide, so I can hear quite far where the soundstage is very correct. where the enemy is and all that. So very good for gaming. For watching movies and Netflix, they are also very good. It's just that in terms of bass, this is a bass light headphone, a more mid-centric headphone. So for action movies, you know, sometimes you get a lot of explosions, gunshots, car chases and all that. That with headphones with more bass, explosions will sound more immersive. This one sounds a bit thin, a bit light, but your dialogues are very clear. There's not much missing of dialogues, okay, so that's pretty good. Soundstage is pretty good as well, it's nice and wide. So watching Netflix, movies on this is also very good. Making phone calls on this is also pretty good, right? So most importantly for making phone calls is the microphone. So let me just do a test, okay, and you guys be the judge. Okay, so as you can see, I've got my voice recorder here, and this now is connected to my iPhone, and I'm going to record my voice using these headphones, the microphones on these headphones, and you guys be the judge, okay? Okay, so now I'm talking to you guys using the microphone of the Oneodio A10. How do you think I sound? Do I sound good? Alright, so I have a fan here with me to simulate a windy condition, and I'm going to turn it on. Okay, and now the fan is on low, so it simulates like a light breeze. How do you think I sound? Now I'm gonna go to the max and simulate blizzard, and this is a very windy condition. How do you think I sound? Do I sound good? Yeah. Okay, so let's switch back to the microphone. As you can hear, the microphone is okay, not the best, not the worst, but it works fine, okay, for making phone calls. So very functional as well for making phone calls. And also, I use this to listen to my music, alright? So how does this sound? Okay, so as you can see, I brought out my graph. Yes, I measured this headphone. And now let's first talk about the technicalities of this headphone. The price to performance ratio of this headphones is very good, $80. The type of sound, the quality of the sound that it produces, it does perform above its price point. Yeah, for $80, I'm not talking about the tuning, I'm talking about the quality of the sound that's being produced by this headphone. It sounds really good quality for $80, so it's worth value for money. Okay, now let's talk about the soundstage. Soundstage is pretty wide actually, very good soundstage, very natural soundstage, and it's got good depth as well, and height, and good isolation. As I mentioned, this headphone is actually pretty good for isolating the sound and giving you the true natural soundstage of whatever you're listening to. So yeah, very good soundstage. Imaging and sound separation is also very good, so it's not a muddled type, especially for busier tracks. So actually good for sound separation. And in terms of imaging, when I'm playing games on this, I can identify where the sound is coming from, so it's pretty good imaging as well. And the sound separation for musical tracks, I can hear my pianos on this side, violins on this side, and a pretty good positioning of it as well. So soundstage and imaging and sound separation is pretty good. For detail retrieval, it's also very good, because as you look at this graph, it's more of a mid-centric type of tuning. So a lot of the details, they do have that space to shine. So gunshots, explosions, footsteps, I can you know, hear the details of it. And for music, I can pick up very clearly well, every pin drop or the guitar pull or anything like that. The nuances of the details can be picked up quickly on this headphone, so it's pretty good detailed retrieval. For resolution, I guess it's alright. You know, resolution is for $80, as I mentioned, does pretty well. You know, for $80, the resolution on this headphone is pretty good. Okay, so now let's talk about the tone and timbre for this. The tone and timbre is a bit on natural, neutral. Yeah, in fact, thin and light, I would say, the note weight, and more of a neutral timbre, and is not a very warm sounding headphone, just to let you guys know. So very light listening experience. Okay, now let's talk about the sound. So as you can see, this is the graph. Okay, the sound signature for this is more mid-centric. The middle frequencies are more prominent and more pronounced. Bass is recessed. It doesn't mean there's no bass. There is bass, it's just recessed. It's not as prominent as the other frequencies. And when I listen to this headphones, as I mentioned, it's bass light. The rumble is there, but it's not the most engaging rumble, and it's a bit light on the note weight as well. So yeah, it does perform. I would want more for the sub bass actually when I'm listening to my music, and also when I'm watching movies. I want more engagement and connection to the whatever I'm watching, the action and all that, when I'm listening to on this headphone. So the sub bass is a bit lacking, I would say. Okay, and then mid bass as well is also not as punchy as I want. It's a bit on the softer side, and it's there, of course. There's impact, there's punch. It's a bit on the lighter side, a bit on the thinner side as well. So, well, the focus is on the mids, I would say. So for these headphones, not much of a bass, alright? So if you are a bass head, definitely this headphone is not for you. Okay, and then your mids, this is where it shines. All right, the vocals, the instruments, they have good space to shine. They've got good clarity, good detail retrieval, though they sound a bit neutral and light and thin sounding, but it does come out clear and precise. Okay, so very mid-centric type of listening experience. Vocals, in terms of male vocals, they lack that authority, but they sound correct, and they sound clear as well. They sound a bit light in terms of their tone. Female vocals, they sound bright. They've got that energy and a good presence for female vocals. In fact, I like listening to female vocals on this headphones. So female vocals, they sound better as compared to the male vocals on these headphones. So yeah, so that's for the mids. Now let's talk about the treble. So the treble, or the bite to the treble, or the gain to the treble, is a bit I would say soft. All right, it's not very bitey, it's not very energetic to the treble. So what I hear is that a bit recessed type of feeling, a bit hollowish type of feeling, but then there's brightness there when the treble's there. So cymbal strikes, hi-hats, there's airiness to it as well. I hear my cymbal strikes very precisely, very clean, and very extended as well for my cymbal strike hi-hats. Guitars, they sound, well, they don't sound sibilant, but they sound clear and sharp, very good, and not sibilant, not harsh as well. So it's a kind of a mixed bag for me for treble, but I find that it's okay. It delivers good treble to me, except for the bite and the gain of that treble. But other than that, the treble, in terms of the air, the presence, there's no sibilance, it's very airy, so it does contribute to the soundstage as well. So when I listen to it, it gives me a very open type of listening experience. Okay, so that's my overall impression and listening experience with this Oneodio A10. Now let's conclude. I would say, in terms of price to performance, this is a very good value for money $80 headphone that can produce good quality sound. So yeah, I do recommend to get this. And who do I recommend to get for? Okay, for those of you who likes to listen to classical, jazz, orchestras especially, and female vocals, this is a very good headphone to go for. But if you listen to mostly pop, hip-hop, rock and roll, rap, things, and also trance and techno, things that require a lot of bass to get your senses right, then I wouldn't recommend this headphone. But if you like listening to classical, you like a lot of details coming out from your headphones, then this is a pretty good quality $80 headphone that I would recommend. Okay, alright, so that concludes my overall review and impression of this Oneodio A10. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and also learned something from this video, and if you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Alright, so that's it for now. Thank you so much guys for watching, and I'll see you again in my next video. Cheers.